So students, today we are going to discuss in brief what is comedy and all the types of comedy. A comedy is a dramatic composition. Okay, it is a dramatic composition with a happy ending. Means in a comedy we always find a happy end. Means there is no sorrow, no bloodshed, no conspiracy, no revenge, no tears. There is only laughter, and it always aims at the production of laughter. Means it provides us more and more laughter. At the time of watching or reading a comedy, we always have a smile on our face and we feel very light. It appeals to intellect as tragedy appeals to heart, because tragedy is full of tears, tragedy is full of tragic incident, so it always gives us pity and fear. Tragedy produces or tragedy arises a lot of catharsis. On the contrary, comedy appeals to intellect because of its witty dialogues or candidness, lightness. It always gives us a lot of happiness. So that is the main quality of comedy. The very first function of a comedy is to give us more and more laughter. It aims at both. The very first aim of a comic dramatist is to create laughter, but along with it he also criticizes life. Means both that is laughter and criticizing life both go together. So comedy aims at both creating laughter and criticizing life, and Shakespearean comedy has all these elements. So now in brief, comedy deals with the light side of life, or we can say that bright side of life. On the contrary, tragedy deals with the dark side of life. Now comedy moves us to laughter, and the atmosphere is also very light, full of happiness, full of mirthful. It always correct manners. That is also the hidden purpose of our dramatist, to indicate the follies, stupidity of human beings, so that he may make a correction in the society or within the personality of particular person. The atmosphere of comedy is full of happiness and laughter. Now the types of comedy. The very first is classical comedy and second one romantic comedy. Both are very important, classical comedy and romantic comedy. Romantic comedy can be known or can be called as Shakespearean comedy also, because Shakespeare's most of the comedies of Shakespeare are romantic comedy. Then third one is comedy of humors. Comedy of humors, that is based on humor. Comedy of manners. Fourth one is, these kinds of comedy are always based on manners, and they are also called or known as artificial comedy because they are based on manners. So they are also known as artificial comedy or restoration comedy or restoration artificial comedy of manners. All are same. Fifth one is sentimental comedy. As all these comedies are based on the theme. Okay, classical comedy, romantic comedy are based on the form or structure, but now it depends on the theme. What kind of theme a dramatist is taking. So for example, sentimental comedy, the main theme of these kinds of comedy are always tears, pathetic lovers, serious lovers, or very sentimental beloveds. All the characters, they are always full of tears or full of emotions. Then sixth one is anti-sentimental comedy. Seventh one, anti-romantic comedy. So all these are the types of comedy. Now the very first is classical comedy. Here we have in detail what is the classical comedy. The classical comedy, it always follows the rules laid down by the ancient Greek and Roman writers. For example, Aristotle, the observation of the three unities of time, place and action. In the classical comedy, what happens that as I have told you that all the rules laid down by the ancient writers are always followed here, and now the observation means the three unities of time, place and action is always observed in classical comedy. That is unity of time. What does it mean? Three unities of time. Time, that is, there must be a comedy or a drama within 24 hours, within only one day. Place one also be single place, only one place, and action must be single, which there should not be double story or double plot. There should be only a single plot, and same place, same city, or the location must be same. There should not be a change in the place, and the time must be only one day. The strict separation of the comic and the tragic. The classical writers, they never liked a mingle or a blend or a mixture of both elements of comedy and tragic. They always preferred strictly to separate comedy from tragedy and tragedy from comedy. So all these rules were only given by the ancient writers. Realism is realism in dealing with the everyday familiar life of ordinary people. In comedy, in classical comedy, what happens that realism or realistic incidents or events of the common people everyday familiar life is presented. Means when we go through the drama, comic drama, we always feel as if the things are being or things are taking place with us also in our day to day life. Means the events, the incidents, the situation, the circumstances or the problems they are facing, that is very similar to all of us, to ordinary people. Now the second one was the romantic comedy. The dramatist or the writer of romantic comedy, they never cared for any rule, regulation that was given or that was strictly was asked by ancient writers to follow. So the romantic dramatists, they don't care for any rules and they write according to the dictates of their fancy, of their imagination. Means they found themselves completely free to write anything and they never liked to follow any rule given by the ancient writers. For example, the three unities are not cared. The three unities of time, place and action that was strictly observed by the ancient writers were not followed by the romantic writers. And then there are free mingling of the comic and the tragic. As in the classical comedy, you have been informed that all the ancient writers, they preferred strictly to separate the comic elements from the tragic elements and the tragic elements from the comic elements. But the romantic dramatist, they preferred to blend both. They mingled both elements, comic with the tragic and tragic with the comic. So there was a free blend of the comic and the tragic. There is a free mingling of the comic and the tragic, and Shakespeare was appreciated by Dr. Samuel Johnson for this also, because he himself regarded that it is very natural, because life is full of both joys and sorrows, tears and laughter, and there is no person who all the time keeps smiling or shedding tears, because both are necessary in both, that is comedy and tragedy. So both are very important for the life. Shakespeare realized that life is a mingled yarn of joys and sorrows, and it would be unnatural, because it was Shakespeare who mingled both, and it would be unnatural to separate them, because life is nothing without both elements. So this was the reason that the romantic dramatist, they always made a blend of both. Its aim is not corrective. The main purpose, the main target of classical comedy was to make a correction, to indicate the follies or stupidity, or to give a moral message somewhere through the comedy. It's, for example, Ben Jonson's Volpone, that is a classical comedy, but in the end that seems to give the beautiful message But romantic comedy, it never prefer to give any moral message, any spiritual or religious message. Its aim is not corrective or satiric, but innocent, and that was only to give more and more fun or laughter, and that laughter, good natured laughter. Follies are exposed. They also show, they also present stupidity, foolishness, but they ridicule without hurting anyone. Means their satire does not hurt anyone. Their satire, or we can say that their laughter, is completely gentle and sympathetic. If they laugh at someone, if they make a fun of someone, then that doesn't hurt the feelings of another person. All the characters, their characteristics or their personality are always ridiculed to create a laughter, but their laughter is gentle and sympathetic. In brief, we can say that in the romantic comedy, the laughter is without being hurt someone, it is presented in detail. So their laughter is completely innocent, their laughter is heartless, and it doesn't give pain to anyone. That was the laughter of romantic comedy, because they provide us more and more pleasure. The very first real English comedy was of Nicholas Dell's Ralph Royster Doyster and Gamers Gurton's Needle.